The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday. Andrew is here. We're in St. Louis. Noah is in Arizona. Getting a little late start today. I apologize. Thank you so much for your patience, you guys. You were like up in my apartment probably an hour ago.
Well,
and I just got here.
It's your birthday, so
I know you can get away with so much when it's your birthday. People really like. I think I could murder someone and while I'm doing it, say it's my birthday, and they'd go, "Oh, okay. Well, it's my death day."
Yeah. Can I still get the gift, or do I? Yeah. I mean, at what point do you kill the guy and still ask for your gift? You know what I mean? Like, ask for the gift from the person.
No, the gift is that you get to kill them.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's a gift that I don't have to deal with this person anymore in my life.
Now, is that a gift that keeps giving because they're dead?
Yes. It's like a subscription box. Yeah, it's my birthday, and I am going to skip my birthday next year. And then I'm 40 the following year, so I feel like it'll be, if I skip it next year, then it'll feel, because everyone's going to make a big deal about 40, I will have to make a big deal out of it. So I feel like it'll maybe feel a little bit more deserved because it's been 2 years since I had one.
Now, are you going to skip it just
like
a party, or like skip it all together?
I am just going to like no one's allowed to give me presents. Texts are the most that can happen. There will be no party. There will be no calls. No and everyone in my life will know that like if you text me, I might just like thumbs up it. But there's gonna be no. It's just. I know I sound like an ingrate, but writing back to, I woke up at 8:30 this morning to 19 texts, which is so nice that people took that time out of their day to do that. But I have to write back to every single one, or else I'm a bitch. And I know that's like, oh, poor Nikki, everyone loves you. Like some people get no one remembering their birthday, and I'm sure like you would kill for one of my 19 people, but would you kill for 19? And then after that, it's 19 people on the half hour, every half hour, as the news spreads throughout Facebook and Instagram. And, someone heard it on the radio this morning. I was listed in the celebrity birthdays, which is nice to be like included in those little like press releases that go out. But, it's just nice. People just want to celebrate you and just be like, It
is tough though sometimes
you.
when you get a text and you just want to thumbs it up. Because, you can't answer all of them, and it's like a third cousin or something, but you got to be like, oh, thank you so much, Diane. It means so much. And then they go, so how you been? Mm-hmm. And then you go, I've been good. Yeah. And then they go, oh, so like the show looks, I just watched the show. Mm-hmm. It's great. Mm-hmm. Wow, you're still doing comedy? Mm-hmm. And then it's like 45 messages later, and you're like, is it my birthday? This feels...
I know my Aunt Sally keeps calling me over and over like a creditor, like a spam call, because I don't have an answering machine right now.
Yeah.
And
is she star 67?
So she just calls over and over, waiting for this answering machine to eventually show up, and it's not going to. And I have to call like that.
Give her a link.
That's what I'm gonna do
to our answering thing for fan threats.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. That's a really good solution. That's what I should do, because I feel so indulgent on my birthday, and I feel like all these people are just giving me energy, and that I just don't want people to like go out of their way for me. I just feel so embarrassed of it. I just hate it. I'm uncomfortable with it. And I know it just doesn't make sense because I have a TV show and a podcast with my name on it. And I'm someone who loves attention, but I hate birthday attention. I really do. And maybe I love it. Maybe I hate that I love it so much.
Or you love that you hate it. Like you love this feeling of being upset.
No, because I'm embarrassed to even talk about hating it, because I sound like such a bitch to hate it. Like that is, I really hate hating my birthday. I wish I loved my birthday. That is something, because everyone wants me to love my birthday. Everyone's like, no one is being...
it's weird. Like I'm comfortable with you hating it. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't want you to be happy. No. But it's so funny. Like I'm so completely comfortable with like you having a subpar birthday, and you be
Yeah, I just don't.
like shopping for
I
you
feel
today.
like this is the way that Ali Wong was talking about her wedding once. And she was like, I don't need to have a wedding. Every day is my wedding. I'm a comedian. I go on stage and everyone claps when I walk out. Like, I don't
She's
need.
divorced now. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't. I just don't need this attention.
I hear ya.
I love birthdays so much as a kid that I made every day
Well,
my
this is the
birthday
thing
by
because
becoming
you
a celebrity.
have a birthday every day.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why this feels. It's embarrassing. There was just Nikki Glaser Day at fucking the Cardinals Stadium. That was beyond humiliating to me because it was something that it looked like I asked for.
Yeah, it was like a Make-A-Wish when like, but unfortunately you didn't get to die.
And I can't, what an ingrate I am to be like, I don't want this. This is embarrassing because people worked really hard to make that happen. And people work really hard on their birthday gifts. People go out and they buy a card, they get a gift, they write you a long text message, they remember to call you, and it makes them feel good. So who am I to rob them of that?
Well, it's funny
And to go, I don't
to
want
buy
that.
you, to get you a gift because I know all these things about your brain and how you feel about your birthday. So I'm like, I don't want to do anything.
Starbucks
over.
gift card. Always.
I literally, that's what I got you.
Thank you. That's
$50.
all. Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
That's the
I
best
know
gift
you.
ever.
I know you. And the card.
And I will spend it on you.
This is a gift that keeps giving.
Thank you. That literally is the best gift.
Oh, my
because
name's on it.
It's easy to buy.
Yeah.
It doesn't
take
have
up
a lot
space.
of waste attached to it. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Yes.
Here.
There's not a lot of
Open
trash.
it. I think you'll like my card. I think I nailed it with
Oh, it says Nikki side stage Glaser, which did you know that I was thinking about yesterday about our podcast and I was like, that would be so funny if my new nickname was Side Stage. I'm not even joking you. I thought that yesterday.
Well, there you go.
How did you do that?
I don't know. My brain.
I
I'm
was
telling
at a
you, we're on good
crosswalk
wavelength right now.
crossing King's Highway, and I literally was like, that was so funny that what if, because it is funny to brag that you were Side Stage anywhere, and it's just,
It's
the
hilarious.
alliteration.
Yeah, SS.
Side Stage. So please, can that be my new
A lot of your
name?
relatives were SSs, you know?
Side, God. Is that a
It's
Nazi?
a Nazi joke.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
well, it's not true.
I like this guy.
Okay, there's a narwhal, and it says "Happy Birthday," and it's almost like his. So the narwhal's tusk is a flagpole, and he's coming out of the water, and on the end of his tusk there is a little streamer that says "Happy Birthday," almost like an airplane pulling. That's a very cute card. I love whales. To Nikki from Mice, which is Andrew's nickname. And $50 to Starbucks. I mean, it's the best ever. Can I read it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you start on.
Nikki, to quote Wilco, just climb aboard the tracks of a train's arm. Makes you think. That's from She's a Jar. That side wasn't the right side to write on. Okay, so
I fucked up.
so in this card there is a almost like gelatinous substance on one side that is to look like waves, and it's really hard to write on. So he picked the wrong side. So as soon as it got hard to write on, he said that side wasn't the right side to write on. The ink wasn't showing well. Not the best start to a card when you have to shift pages. Probably should have started on this side. Had a thought to drive back to CVS to buy a new card and do better the second time around. I realized I haven't written with a pen in a while. Not looking good. You are an amazing friend. Thanks for being a person I admire and learn from daily. Love, Andrew/Mice. Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I love the talking through your process for most of the card. Like I see this much print and I go, oh my God, there's going to be a lot of feelings. I can't handle this. I like that you kept the feelings to about a fourth of the page, which is all the feelings I need.
I know.
I can't take
I know
more than
you
that.
well. I know
Thank you so
well.
much. This is such a perfect gift.
You know what's so funny too is
Thank you, Andrew.
you're welcome. I have one other thing coming tomorrow, but
Oh, no.
it's just like a whole band and like a carnival and a parade. But it's just simple.
I'm gonna be the saddest old woman when all my friends die and I have no one, and I'm gonna be like
No
thinking
one's
about back on
texting
these
me.
days of like, remember when I complained about 19 texts before 8:34 in the morning?
Well, it's so funny. I got
should
you.
just appreciate it.
I got you a card, and it was like, it's never too old. And then you open it, and it's like a 3D one, the ones that pop out.
Yeah.
It's this old woman shaking her ass, and it shakes. It's
Oh,
like
that's
to
fun.
shake your ass. And I was gonna get you that, but then I was like,
No.
it's not you.
I
You
like
know?
getting like those jokey cards that are like supposed to be funny, but ironically, because they're so
Yes.
dumb, they're not
Yes.
funny. But yeah, you made the right choice.
Yeah.
I loved the fact that you had to give up on one side of the page. That was perfect.
I kept trying to rewrite over it. You ever like has a pen run out and then you
Yes.
realize it's not the pen?
It's not the pen. It's the waves. it's the narwhal's environment leaking over into the center of the card.
It would have took me another hour and a half. Anyhow, it's you're gonna have like I don't have to cheer you up, but I think tonight will be fun. You're
It will
doing
be fun.
karaoke.
Yes.
You'll get to sing out your
Sheryl
feelings,
Crow.
if anything.
Yeah, that's true for a group of people who
Cheryl Crow's
I
feet
just,
over
like,
there.
Feel Cheryl Crow's feet. That's a good nickname too. Side stage. Cheryl Crow's
SS? No, SC.
feet. SC. So close.
One letter off. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Shit. But no, you're gonna sing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun. Even if it sucks, it'll be fun.
No, it'll be
Like,
so fun. I just
shitty karaoke's still fun.
having a bad day today, to be honest with everyone. I told Andrew and Noah about it already, but I just like already have had just an emotional day, and I just feeling PMSy. I already said yesterday I was like having all the body aches, and then like I do know PMS is not an excuse. I think a lot of women like maybe feel bad using it as an excuse, but it really is a thing you go through that makes you just emotionally irrational and weakened. And my old therapist, my Dr. Abusive, Dr. Maya Abusive therapist, she used to say that PMS just is, when I would be like, I'm just PMSing, she'd be like, no, I mean, these are real feelings. They're just, you have no defenses for them. They're just coming out. The walls, the moat around,
Yes.
the wall around your fortress is penetrable right now. And so like the feelings that you're having are real, and they might seem like, because for me, I just bottle up all my feelings all the time. And then I end up crying over the the smallest thing that seems like insane. And then people look at each other like, what the fuck is happening? This girl's crazy. Like, I just can't get over the feeling of like every time I cry, I just feel so crazy. I feel so insane. And I feel like everyone around me is just like, doesn't know what to do, wants to run for the fire exits. They have to stay because I'm crying. Like, it just is so embarrassing.
Do you think, as a woman, that like when you have PMS, it almost gives I don't like the word excuse, but it like allows you to let your guard down, or is it so like just wired in your brain that that's when it happens?
I usually don't know.
Do you know what I mean though? Like is it?
No, because you don't really know you're having it until later on.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, that's what that was. I know that I'm having it right now, and it's not like giving me an excuse. I mean, maybe subconsciously a little bit. It's like, okay, I know I have this thing in my back pocket, and it's a tampon, but the tampon's there because I might start bleeding any second. But I have this thing that, when I told my boyfriend I'm PMSing, like he was like, today, he was like, I never even consider that being a thing. Like, I just thought that was a thing that's in like Kathy cartoons or like sitcoms. Like,
yeah.
I just always thought that was a thing that, television amped up, or like sitcoms made like as a thing. Like, I never consider if you're acting a certain way that she might be on her period. Like, he's just always thought that was a misogynist kind of approach to it. And I was like, I would have agreed with you because I did not suffer from PMS like this in my early 30s even, and even my mid-30s. Like, I'm 38 today, and it's like periods are getting more and more treacherous for me.
I wonder why.
I think it's because it's like, this is the last.
Oh, you better
this is
get
the
coming.
last of the Mohicans. Like, it's now or
I
never.
will
bitch.
find you.
Yeah, like, it's just, I think, and when I went to go to, I think I told this on the podcast, when I went to go check out Diva Cups, and I had no idea why the sizes were different, why there was a 1 or a 2. Like, what's the difference between these two? And one was bigger, and the one that was bigger was for women who are over 30. And I'm
have
like,
more attitude?
yeah, it's just to hold all your feelings and some tissues if you want to keep an extra supply up in your puss because you're going to be crying so much.
Oh.
But I didn't know that women's periods get heavier after 30. I didn't fucking know that. When was that? Where was that in sex ed? I didn't know that PMDD was a thing where you literally want to kill yourself. Like, you have suicidal thoughts, and you're seriously.
Oh, that's where PM Dawn got the name.
Is that Like
You
a
don't remember
rapper?
that band?
No.
They had one really
I
big
may have
hit
heard
in
of
the
them.
90s.
Oh.
I'm going to play it because I think you know the song.
Well,
but anyways, go ahead. PMDD
yeah, just-
makes you want... What
I
does
mean,
that stand for? Post-menstrual depression?
Premenstrual. It's not depressive. You think it's going to be depressive, but it's something else. Disastrous. Dick tease. So it's
Diaphragm.
It just feels like, it feels like the worst depression I've ever had every month.
Yeah.
Like where I'm at my weakest.
Do you
like,
cramp? too?
Sometimes I haven't this time. I think those are going to start in a couple days because my period is still 8 days away. I mean, this
Oh,
stuff.
so you
is
don't even
starting-
have evidence for this?
No.
You can't even show your boyfriend a bloody
Well, I
tampon.
can show him my Flow app, which is definitely tracking this shit. And I'm starting to track every single day. I put in notes like I had suicidal thoughts today, like
Yeah.
or my boobs feel heavy, or my body feels like a bag of old soup. Like that is seriously how I feel. I just feel soupy. I just feel like yeah.
A bag of old soup is such a funny way to.
I just feel like
That is
I'm
so
like just
funny.
like
when
it has too much air in it too. It's not like packed tight, and it's just like.
I feel like as a guy too, like when I feel like Brenna has
Ghostbusters ghost.
really bad periods too. I guess she's like horrible cramps, and I try to like judge it almost on a curve. Like I'm like, okay, this is who you are this week. You're going through it. It doesn't include me. That's what I, as a guy, and I'm sure Chris might deal with it too. Is like when a woman is, you're dealing with your own shit, and
Yeah.
sure, it's gonna come over into my shit a little bit, but I gotta understand this isn't my shit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that I don't know. That's hard though. I think sometimes as a guy, but even even when a girl tells you that they're on their period,
Because you guys want to fix it and you
Yeah.
want to like make it better, and you are the person. Like there's a new Wilco song off Cruel Country, and it's called I'm tired of taking it out on you, and it's like he's just tired of taking it out on the person who's the most proximity to him. But like that is why we're in relationships, is to have someone there when we are at that vulnerable,
Yeah.
not to take it out on them, but like I like I was saying today, when I was feeling so sad yesterday, and I was like, and Chris has COVID right now, so he couldn't be around me, and I just had no one to like comfort me, and that's why we are in relationships, because when our parents get old and they die, we need we need someone else to hold us and to comfort us, like we're little babies. Like that's why I need a relationship. Like it isn't about you, but it is because. But you have to learn how to not take it out and to actually like lean on that person for support, as opposed to like make them feel like they're the cause of it. Let's take a quick break and dissect this even more when we get back on my birthday. Andrew!
heavy flow coming down like a soupy soup, and it's coming like chowder. But get back and have some clams. No. Yep. Dude, I don't know if have you ever been to Oyster?
Welcome back.
Oyster, it's a bar. Oyster something Broadway.
Yeah, Broadway Oyster Bar.
Great bar.
Really?
By the way.
What do you want a bar for? What
I
do
started.
you mean a cool bar?
I'm drinking a little bit again.
So like you go and you just, what do you do
Live
there?
music.
Oh,
Like
live
amazing
music.
live music.
Yeah.
Great New Orleans food. It's a very cool feel.
Yeah.
But there's when you walk there, there's a bar. It's called Jazz, Blues, and Soup.
No
like
way.
I just love that. It's just like the coolest things ever, and soup.
Jazz, blues, soup.
I was dying. I was like, has anyone had the soup here? I was like, my tomato soup left me. Oh, I all alone, and I'm chattering down.
That is
like
so-
just something so.
I mean, they must have really great soup to put that on the
Or
sign.
really bad music.
Yeah, just put that to think that it deserves a spot. They were like, we need one more thing. It doesn't make sense just to call it jazz and blues. Well, yeah, it could.
What else could go up there that would have been better than? Well, nothing better than.
And then
soup.
I just hear a microwave go off like beep, beep, beep. And they're like, what did you just make? And he's like, soup. And he goes, I mean, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Hey, look,
They're just putting together this bar.
there was some woman named Massey. Did you ever hear of her?
No.
She's like a big time blues singer. That was like Aretha Franklin. Of
Where
St.
is
Louis.
this? I don't even know where this place is. You walked there?
Yeah, it's right. It's kind of by the stadium. I went to the Cardinals
Oh,
game.
that's right.
But yeah, I don't know. Someone
How
knew
was
one of
that?
the lead singer. The Cardinals game.
Yeah.
It was like fucking 200 degrees. Like
Yeah. It's a hot day.
St. Louis might have the whitest people I've ever seen.
Right?
Like
It's a problem.
it's not even white. It's like a whole nother kind of
Dude,
white. It's so white that I've never seen. I'm from Florida.
What
There's
does that
plenty
mean to you? What are you saying by that?
Just ugly. No.
Inbred?
There's just like an off. They're off. It's a weird. It's definitely not the superior race when you when you look at
them
when
all
you look
together
at them
like that.
when they're burning in the sun and
Yeah.
you realize they got to leave by the third inning or they'll have skin cancer and die the same day.
Right.
Like I don't know. It's just a different kind of white.
So you're
that
talking
I'm
about the
used to.
color of their skin, really?
Oh, they're so. I mean, they're translucent.
But when you're saying St. Louis is white, that's what you're talking about is literally physically white?
oh, physically white.
Oh, you
Yeah.
not like white. Like this feels a little racist white because that's
Oh.
what St. Louis feels to me. No offense to my town that I know and love, but we have a race problem.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would say 98% of the audience at the game was white. I don't know if that has anything to do with racism.
Yeah. Do you count the people selling things in the audience? I'm just kidding.
Actually,
because that's
they're not even there anymore.
What? What do you mean?
So that's guess.
COVID?
I don't know. They don't have like,
Like
peanuts
yelling-
or hot dog guys.
What? Really?
I
What
found that.
section were you in? They definitely have people going
telling
like
you.
peanuts.
They didn't have that. I swear to God.
Getting
There wasn't one hot dog over here.
Andrew.
Get your hot dog. Yeah, hot dog water. Just drink the water out of the hot dogs.
No, I think this town I deal with feelings of like anger towards this town of how I grew up in an environment where it's very segregated.
Yeah.
And that there seems
everywhere.
to be this denial of it too of like, no, we're so multicultural and I literally heard someone at a party say, St. Louis isn't racist. I was at dinner the other night and a lovely table of black people sat next to us. It was fine.
It was fine. That's the racism.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean it was fine? Why wouldn't it be fine? Is that your story? And we were fine with it. Wait, I'm sorry. What is this? The end of the story? That was the end of the story. And this was obviously an older person telling me this story, and but it was someone that I would say was of sound mind that I wouldn't have ever thought, and this person would never think they're racist because of that statement of like, I see black people all the time and I don't want to burn crosses in their yard. That doesn't mean you're not racist.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Yeah,
But that's the problem is St. Louis has a problem with admitting that they might have racist tendencies. I have preconceived
for
notions
sure.
about literally anyone who isn't me. Whether you're white, whether you're man, we all do. And they're wrong. They're not our fault. They're societal. But not acknowledging them is not the way to handle them.
Yeah,
And
or
you don't
get
have to-
defensive. You don't have to get defensive
and you
about
don't have to go, you don't have to be guilty constantly.
Yeah.
And feel like there's a lot of people that say, oh, I was just getting my hair done the other day and my hairstylist said that one of her clients is pulling her kids out of a school district, like a fairly conservative, white, very expensive school to go to. She's pulling her kids out because they are teaching them about slavery too much. And my kids have to pay the price they have to feel guilty constantly for something they didn't even do. And it's like, wait, I understand that there are some black people that would probably want us to feel constant guilt. And that is a thing that some people, maybe even white people, expect you to do that. But I don't think learning about something is there to make you feel guilty for it, even if it was your ancestors who did it. There's, that might be a feeling that lingers, but no one's teaching it to you to feel guilty.
Not to mention, it is the history.
It's just, but you know what? We don't care about facts anymore. It's like, there's no point of school anymore. I really feel that way.
I just love someone taking them out of private school and be like, I'm going to homeschool them myself. I'll teach them what I want. And it's like, what are they going to learn? How to fucking drive a Volvo, you dumb bitch?
No, because we're going to have they have self-driving cars.
Oh, my
pretty
bad.
soon.
My bad.
You learn how to turn it on and say, "Go to Target."
I mean, it's wild what was in our history books of how they just glanced over hundreds of years of oppression to make us not feel
But
bad.
I remember learning about slavery and about the civil rights movement. I remember it was third grade, and like hearing really hard stuff and like learning like, oh fuck, and feeling bad, like having guilt about it and being like, oh my God, I would, if I were a black person, I would be so fucking mad at us and about anyone who was white. I would really like, I had that, like, I projected that resentment on, but it was essential for me to learn that. Like, can you imagine not learning about slavery? But there's so much stuff we're missing. Like, I don't know anything about, I didn't know anything about, the killing fields in Cambodia. You read about that shit and it is so fucking horrifying. Even more recent, like, there's so many atrocities
I learned
haven't learned
that
about. But
plenty of bad. I'm a Jew. I learned plenty of bad stuff Germans did. I went to Germany. I had a little bit of a preconceived notion of like German. You connect Nazi to German because you heard that your whole life. Not only did I hear that in my history books, I heard that in every single movie I've seen.
Literally feel a tinge of guilt when I have to tell people like, oh, my family's German Irish. Like, I wish I could skip the German part because of that.
But as a Jew, I'm just saying, like, I don't feel. Oh yeah, okay. So then, in that point, you would be the oppressor. You would be the white person in the slave scenario.
Yeah.
Of the black, but like, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I guess in that standpoint, I'm the
minority.
The minority in that instance. But like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I was gonna put this where like I don't see Germans though as like these horrible.
But you might have a little bit of like, that you guys, your ancestors are pieces of shit that did this thing.
Yeah.
But like, also, okay, fine, then deal with those feelings. But the answer isn't not talking about things that happen. I just hate not talking about things that have happened. I think that's like my overriding thing is like not being honest or being in denial of anything. It's like, it really bugs me. And it just because you want to avoid guilt or you want to avoid feelings, which is all I want to do is avoid fucking feelings. So I don't know if I want to avoid it or I don't want to, and why it annoys me.
But
it's
the
all very
Cardinals
complicated.
won. 6-3.
But you left like early, right?
No, I stayed the whole game.
I thought you said you left at the fourth inning.
No. Everyone else did. So we were sitting underneath
You had shade.
the awning
Oh,
or
nice.
porch or whatever. It was great. I was like, no sun at all. Just had
I love baseball
It was
games.
a great
I love people watching. That's my favorite part about baseball games.
There were some.
I barely even watch the game.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I watch it at all, actually.
it was fun. I went with Brenna and her two friends that live here, and one of them. It was funny. We were making fun of the guy that keeps. He still like has one of those scorecards, and he writes it with a pencil. Like, like no one else is gonna get it. Like he's
Like
in
you
charge.
can't find this information online immediately. That
So he
robot's
said
me.
that his grandfather. Granted, this is probably before.
Wait, you
like,
talked to him?
Who?
You talked to the scorecard guy?
No. I talked to the other guy that we were. Sorry,
so
the other
your
guy in the couple.
Brenna's friends.
Yeah, Brenna's friend. The guy in the couple. His grandfather would do that, and he would mark it how he saw the game, and then how he would tell the game is he'd go, "Yeah, that wasn't a hit. That was an error," and everyone's like, "No, the." People upstairs said it was a hit, and he's like, "Not by my scorecard." Like these guys.
Do you do
just
anything like that? Do you carry on any things that like, even though it's already digitized and there's no need for you to do it, do you like do it?
I can't think of anything like that.
I can't even. I mean, guess with birthday cards, sometimes I will just like.
It felt
make
good
my
to
own.
write.
Or
I haven't written in a while. It felt better than sending you a text.
Or like writing a list or writing in a journal, long form, instead of writing in your notes or I don't know, writing a set list. I'm trying to think of like things. Or I mean, you used to go to stores instead of buying on Amazon.
Well, yeah.
You were the biggest holdout for online shopping that I of anyone I know.
I wish I kept holding out. I probably would have saved $10,000.
Oh,
but,
at least.
Yeah.
It's obscene how much money I spend on.
I had no idea how easy
bullshit.
Amazon was. I also lived in a building that I was worried the shit was going to get stolen. I didn't have a doorman, so
Right.
that changed everything.
Yes.
Once I got a doorman, but yeah, I don't know. I sometimes I'll hold a newspaper. I like holding paper, and I forget
You
how
like
good that
chewing it,
feels.
too.
I like chewing paper. I like using it to wipe my ass.
You can't chew your phone.
Oh, dude, I've
mean, you
chewed
probably-
so many things that weren't chewable. You know, a lot of comics, though. Here's a thing I learned. A lot of comics write lefty, throw righty. That's a thing I've seen way more than in real
Really?
world. Like, a lot.
Well, lefties are like more creative, I think.
And then righty is more this kind of brain. So I think that combination, creative and straight brain.
Yes.
Analytical.
Analytical.
Yes. Are you right-handed, Noah?
Yeah, I'm right-handed.
Me too. Yeah.
The other thing with comics, they chew on pen caps or have chewing. Granted, maybe a lot of them don't get
I mean,
laid.
they also all, are alcoholics too. It's like these are all things you do to cope with anxiety too,
Yeah.
besides
That's true.
the left-handed
We
thing.
all-
But like chewing pen caps or like ripping labels off of beer and like you always go, oh, you're sexually anxious, but it's like, no, you're just anxious.
Dude, I never had a fucking beer. Every single beer I ever drank was empty.
Are you still doing that? I mean, I guess you're having drinks now.
I had White Claw for the first time.
Oh yeah. Well, let's talk about that a little bit later because we have to get to the news. But I'm dying to hear your White Claw take. You said it would have killed you.
Dead.
Let's get to the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
It's Wednesday, folks. You know what that means. It is Wednesday. It's also Nikki Glaser's birthday. If you haven't yet, send her a text.
No, don't. You stay away. I just got 2 more texts.
Apparently, she loves them. I hope you're having all the swells out there. And yeah. So, if you want to come to Westport Social to sing a couple tunes.
Well, this won't be out by then.
No,
Well,
but I'm just promoting for
yesterday.
for social, just the company.
I mean,
as a whole.
for earlier tonight, whenever this comes out. Okay.
Back to you, Noah.
I just want to say that I tried to condense your birthday text by texting you in our group chat with the girls.
You did a great job of that. I haven't even gotten to that whole. Did I write even back to it? I don't
Not
think
yet.
I have yet.
Not
I'm
yet.
sorry, babe.
Kristen sent some
because you did it in
photos.
a group text. For some reason, group text gives me less pressure because I'm like other people are taking care of what's going
I
on in
thought
there.
so.
And so I don't even. I looked at it as more like less of a birthday text. I just looked at it as like a block of text that I can get to later because other people in the group text will take care of it. I didn't
Yes.
really even know it was a birthday text, so I appreciate that.
Yes. So you could just write thanks once and not have to respond a whole
Oh,
bunch.
you're the best.
to all the girls. Okay.
Noah and Anya also wrote me and was like, you don't have to reply to this, but you mean so much to me. Like, all my friends are giving me the caveat of like, don't even do anything back to this. It's very nice.
Okay. So I don't know if you've seen this trending, but hashtag Swedengate
What?
is trending after posts to ask Reddit answering the question, what's the weirdest thing you had to do at someone else's house because of their culture/religion, go viral because they say that Swedish families did not invite their children's guests to eat family meals as a custom.
Swedish families did not invite their children's friends to eat family meals as a custom. So you would never eat a dinner or a meal over at your friend's house.
So, okay. So here's like one of the quick anecdotes. I remember going to my friend's house, and while we were playing in his room, his mom yelled that dinner was ready. And check this, he told me to wait in his room while they ate. That shit was fucking wild.
Whoa.
So apparently, that custom is outdated, but it was true. And the thought behind it was the other children or other family may have plans with another kind of dinner in the plans, and you wouldn't want to ruin the routine or preparations.
So it's about other people. So it's about that my son's friends, family. I don't want to impose on what they might have planned by giving their son my family's food.
Right. But Twitter and
Interesting.
the internet like exploded how like it's just rude. They don't want to feed the children. They're this and that. But
No, the
and it's
Swedish
outdated.
are good people. They're okay.
You're gonna be in Sweden.
Oh, I am. Am I going to Stockholm?
I don't remember,
Yes.
but you're gonna be in
Yeah,
Europe
I think I'm going to Stockholm
in October.
The real life
been there?
IKEA. No, I've never been. I've only
nice.
in Europe. I've only been to Madrid, Paris,
My,
a little bit of. Oh God, don't say it like that.
I,
Valencia
yeah.
and the south of France.
Yes.
And those are the only places I've been.
I've
So
been-
I'm very excited to go to Berlin, Munich,
Maybe
London,
in Oslo. That's
Oslo.
so cool.
That's right. Where else are we going? There's so many places we're going. I had a little song memorized to memorize all of them in the order that they were going, but I can't remember it now. But yeah, I'm so freaking excited. Amsterdam. that's where I'm ending the tour, and that's where I'm going to stay for a few days, I think, and go to the Anne Frank house and stuff like that, and like the red light district, and just
See the Van Gogh Museum.
Oh yeah, did you hear someone caked the Mona Lisa?
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny because I looked into it and go, wait, what the fuck, is this real? And there's a big, they didn't really get it. There's something about, why is it that I wanted them to get it? Because I'm kind of like over worshiping this little fucking
Have
painting.
you seen it?
It's so small.
You've seen it.
And
It's pathetic.
I want her, she deserves a cake in the face.
Well,
that
she
little
needs
smug
makeup.
bitch.
She needs makeup anyways.
You ever heard that Lonely Island song?
What, Mona Lisa needs?
About Mona Lisa? They're like,
Oh, how overrated it
yeah.
is.
Mona Lisa, you're an overrated piece of shit with that terrible smile and those dead shark eyes and a smirk like you're hiding a dick. Mona Lisa, the original basic bitch. Traveled thousands of miles to see your stupid smile. They're like, talk about a bait and switch. You're ugly. And it's just like, I mean, he's
But why
playing a pop
was it
star.
such a big deal? Was that
I don't know.
Leonardo da Vinci?
Well, what's really interesting about it when I was looking the other day about the cake incident, it's very interesting because there was this diagram of all the expressions on micro expressions on her face. So there's contempt, there's happiness, there's anger, like the nuances of her face, which is why that painting pisses me off so much, is because you can't tell how she feels. And that is interesting.
she also
to me.
follows you around the room with her eyes. You know that?
Oh my God.
Like if you're on one side, she'll.
Oh yeah, but so many.
That's kinda
Do you
wild.
know that is if you look down the barrel of a lens, any photograph where the person is looking into the lens, it will follow you around the room.
Oh.
That's the only thing that requires that kind of trick happening.
Well,
Noah, what were you going to say about it?
Tempt about that.
So I just looked up why is the Mona Lisa so famous, and it's basically the style of realism by Leonardo da Vinci influenced a bunch of other painters and stuff. So I think
Okay.
it just like created that.
So
style.
that was the bottom of realism.
Yes.
So
okay.
people were like, if
Or the top.
that's good, I guess I could do better than that fucking ugly little bitch.
Okay, but hold on. I just have to say one more lyric about, if you've never heard the Mona Lisa song, it's my favorite Lonely Island song. They go, Mona Lisa. Well, okay, then they just talk about all these world phenomenon that are like really hyped up, and then you get there and it's shit. So he's like, I'm headed to Paris at 12:45. So excited to see her. I went straight to the Louvre, which is the museum. I
Yeah.
heard she's exquisite. So I bought a ticket, pushed my way to the front of the crowd, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Mona Lisa, you're an overrated piece of shit. And it goes, can someone explain why the whole wide world is obsessed with a garbage pail kid? Looks like a garbage pail kid. And Da Vinci must have sucked an art historian's dick to get this girl who looked like uncooked bread at the top of the all-time list of paintings. And then it says Mona Lisa. And then the bridge breakdown is like, Mona Lisa, I got to know, where the fuck are your eyebrows? I really want to know. You could land a helicopter on that big potato forehead. Get this chick some Rogaine. You're a bloated corpse, girl. Like if you guys have never seen Pop Star, the Lonely Island
I
movie,
love Pop
it is
Star.
the funniest goddamn movie. And that song is in the movie, but they only do one verse of it. And the whole album is so funny. But Mona Lisa is my favorite song of theirs. And just saying, at the very end, it says her hair part is wider than a country road. It's like, he goes, I am an American man. This is my native land where no one lies about paintings. But that's not the case in France, where the naked ladies dance and they look like Dennis France. If you know what Dennis France looks like, it looks exactly like Mona Lisa. He goes, you're so mangy, Mona. Hair part wider than a country rhoda. Unless you count cats, she's gonna die alone. The Mona Lisa sucks. Da 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 da. Sorry, I'm already doing karaoke.
You know,
This song is
for
so
sure
fucking fun.
they studied abroad, Or they went up and they all had that moment of like, this thing is so overrated. It's so small. It's smaller than this.
Yeah, it's the Willie Nelson next to your head. And when the person threw cake at it, I went and read about all the vandalism. Someone stole it in like the early on. It was stolen for a while and they found it. Then in 2009, a woman threw a cup at it because she was I think she was Romanian and she wasn't getting French citizenship, so she was pissed, so she brought a cup that she hid in her fucking bag and she threw a cup at it, but it broke against the screen that was protecting it. And then this time this guy poses an old woman like in a wheelchair because you get to get closer to it if you're in a wheelchair, and then threw a cake. But wouldn't you also research, if you knew that you can get close enough that you could be in a wheelchair and get close enough to throw a cake, wouldn't you also research if it has a plastic thing in front of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think he got, I don't know if I guess he wanted to ruin it, but
French
he got close enough to hit it.
Instead of a pie.
Oh, yeah. Or a crepe or something.
Yeah, a crepering.
I remember I went to Paris for 2 weeks. I lived there.
I love Paris.
What did I even do?
So
I got
fun.
I just remember getting a haircut and they massaged my head for an hour.
I thought you were going to talk about something else. I got a good hair.
No, not good head. Just a good
hand
haircut.
job. Okay, do we have time for another news story?
Sure.
That will inspire me to sing an entire song.
Maybe.
Boom, boom, boom.
A raspberry-flavored, uterus-shaped cereal called Period Crunch aims to encourage conversations about periods at the breakfast table.
No, this is just trying to make headlines, right?
You're right.
This is just an attention.
Is it like another cereal that's throwing it in like like a Fruit Loops?
This is
It's a PR.
stunt.
It's a PR stunt by a Swedish company called Intimina. And
they're like, we really don't want your kids having breakfast at our house.
Yeah. We don't serve anything here except for period blood.
Don't invite your child over for our family dinner. Okay.
The company surveyed more than 2,000 people and found that 48% of girls and women are too embarrassed to talk about their periods.
It is a problem. Women do not. We have such shame about our periods because we start bleeding at this very young age. A lot of us more young every day because of the hormones and different foods. And girls are getting their period at like 7 and 8 now. And it's embarrassing. And moms don't know how to talk to their kids about it because it's just like it's sexualizing your child in a way. And men don't even fucking know how much blood comes out of you. I didn't even know. I talked about this. I had no idea how much blood came out of me because I'm always putting tampons up there that collect it all, and then I pull it out, and it just looks like, a little tampon worth of blood. I didn't know that it's buckets and buckets every month. It's so much. And we have to keep it secret. Like we are the ones that are like, it's not just men or misogyny. It's like the women also are, and it is based on like the shame that we feel, but we just don't talk about the stuff at all because it is gross. Blood is gross. People have an aversion to it.
Yeah, it's not ladylike. Like so many people are like, you're cotillion, right? Cotillion?
Yeah.
Like that whole thing. Like, what, you're going to fucking put the right side of the fork on the right side of the plate and then go, also my pussy's bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not ladylike to talk about for some reason. And they're taught that at a young age.
We still, like, if you go to the bathroom with a tampon, you, like, sneak it up your sleeve and you kind of walk.
Like a drug deal?
I walk
like a
confidently.
magician.
I went to the airport. We were at the airport on a layover somewhere, and I remember I learned a way to get through a crowded airport and have just the C part for you is because I got it back some tampons.
Lisa hair.
And I didn't want to get a bag because I hate plastic bags. So I'm carrying the box of tampons and I didn't realize I was carrying it right in front of my phone and like with my phone. So it almost looked like I was holding my phone, like the tampons up. It was like I was fucking Moses parting. Like there were people, they just wanted to get away from me because this weird girl is holding up this box of shameful tampons. So I always walk confidently with tampons and make sure to like have them spilling out of my bag. I don't care because they're even when they're
those
they have blood on them.
Airport carts that make that annoying sound.
Beep,
they could just throw tampons on the front.
That's so true.
And just get rid of the sound.
I've almost been run over by those.
Yeah, those things go they're way too big and way too fast. I'm sick of those things. And people that ride them don't need to be on them.
No, a lot of people do, but some people are lazy.
I'm sick of this bullshit.
When I went to Thailand,
there's a lot of fake limps going around.
When I went to Thailand, If people want a fake limp and that is that they need to do that to get through life, let them have it.
No.
That is so fucking sad that that's what they need to get attention or whatever. Just have a birthday, okay? Get famous and have a birthday. No, when I went to Thailand, I asked the front desk for tampons. This is in 2000, when I turned 29. It was 9 years ago, exactly on this day. In Thailand, went to this amazing resort, and I go up to the front desk, and I was like, do you have tampons? And the girl spoke good English and was like, I don't even know what that is. Very confused. And I literally
English
went
well,
like this. I was like, I did the finger. I did a hole, and I did a finger going up, and I was like, I'm on my period, the thing you put up. And she was just like, no. And I was just like, I felt really embarrassed that I had asked, and I was like, okay. And I had never used pads before. I was never a pad girl. I went right to tampons right away. It was never even an option.
Hates gophers.
Thailand hates pads.
Oh, what did they do?
Don't, or they hate tampons. They don't believe, and I think this is many cultures. Let's talk about, traditions and things like
free
that.
bleed?
They don't think it's okay to hold it inside. It's something that you need to get rid of. And that if you're holding it inside you, you're keeping this it's almost like you're constipated with the thing that you need to shed, and that it needs to be shed. And I remember being like, that's so backwards, and there's so much shame around having it inside you. But there's something really beautiful about being like, I'm bleeding and it's just coming on out. And there are times where I go through a whole period, and I'm sorry about period talk for the men who listen to the show and just don't need this, or girls that are just like, I don't need this, Nikki. But there's times where let it go 1 month. Just use pads. Just see what happens. And even pads really hide a lot of the blood. Like, it'll make it into this weird gel substance that's like, I only did a thimble.
Yeah.
But it's good to bleed. It's good to feel. It's good to see it and realize that you're like a being that is going through this weird process that is very brutal, and that women are really strong to have to go through it and to see it and to not hide it, to not keep it inside and pull it out like a dead mouse and then, throw it in the little bin, and then the blood gets on the little bin door, and then wipe that door off.
Yeah,
I know
make
it's
sure
a public restroom and someone's going to do it for you, but you wipe that door off. No one wants to see your little...
but free bleed all over the bathroom.
But yeah, for sure. Smack your pad up on the wall. I want to look at it. I used to have one of the most disgusting jokes I ever had was, I remember telling it at the Funny Bone, saying I just went to the bathroom and they ran out of toilet paper, so I had to get a pad out of the little trash bin. I just remember why would I? It's not even funny. It's gross.
Just so self-deprecating.
I had so many jokes that used to just make people go, oh, yeah. I mean, I wish you could have seen me back in the day. I was like a shock comic. Every single joke I told was trying, and I would stack my set not based on I'll close with the funniest one. I couldn't. Your set has this sometimes too, where you can't recover after how visceral a certain joke is.
Literally,
and you've learned okay, I either have to close on that because they don't like me after that, or it's just because
it's funny to end on something that they won't like you,
or they just get because
they can't come back. You can't top it. It's just
it's hard to tell the difference between something gross and something funny, and a lot of times they're the same because gross is shocking and funny is shocking. So I used to just be, man, I used to have someone that I should go through my old jokes.
Yeah,
we should go through our old jokes sometimes and just and talk about them in almost like a history lesson of this is what my ancestors did, an older version of myself, and please forgive me that I used to say these things. But I used to have some of the most offensive material that I can't believe how dark I was. And I would just think of the worst thing and say it. I mean, I almost did a joke this weekend that I'm so glad I didn't do, because I was just feeling a lot after the school shooting, obviously, last week, and didn't know what to do with it. And then I go to the Wilco concert on Friday night, and I cried during one of the songs just because it wasn't even about the shooting. It was just, I cried because it was such a beautiful song, story to tell, just to give it a promo. And the next day I wanted to talk about the Wilco show I saw the night before in my set, because it was all the people that were there. And I was going to say, I even told Anya and Matt and Josh Gondelman, I was like, I know this isn't funny, but I just want to acknowledge the shooting. I don't want to act like, I don't want to make jokes about it, but I want to acknowledge it's a fucking thing. So I was just going to say, how good was the show last night, you guys? It was, it's just so nice. I cried during Story to Tell, this most beautiful song. It's just so nice to cry about something other than child murder.
Yeah.
I was just going to make it's kind of a joke, because it's a joke in the sense that it would
be hard for people to laugh.
But you know what? It's funny because
But I get the relief of it.
But
like,
but to me, people are like, it's not really funny. And I'm like, well, I get that it's not funny, but to me it is funny because you think I'm going to say it's nice to cry about something other than, I was going to say child murder and the fact that I lost this earring last week. Make it something small too. But it was like, that's the first thought I had, was this dark thought of like, I need to make things dark. I need to acknowledge the darkness because we can't act like it didn't happen. And people sometimes mistake that for like, you're using it as fodder and you're making fun of the victims, as opposed to like, no, I just need to say it happened.
Yeah,
and I don't want
they're
it to
getting
go,
that 98% of the day.
Don't
you think?
I don't
know. That would be my argument of why.
I got shushed about it. It was really awkward.
What do you mean you got shushed?
I'll tell it on another show, but I'm still processing it. I got kind of like, don't talk about that. And I'll tell you about it at another time, but we got to go to break. And we'll be back with Shushing works so well.
It's so fucked up.
We'll be back with a fun Esther Perel game. All right, we're back. It's Wild Wacky Wednesday, and today we are going to play the Esther Perel game, which, by the way, Noah, have you seen the new show Couples Therapy on Showtime?
No, I don't have Showtime.
Okay, I didn't either. Do you have Hulu?
I don't have Hulu.
Well, if our listeners do, no one knows about this show, and I can't believe they don't, but it's called Couples Therapy. And it's so fucking good. And it's watching these different couples go
real
in.
Life stuff?
Yeah, real life. And it just is. Anya and I are obsessed with it. Anyone I've talked to about it, I put it on my story. I didn't know about the show, and I just feel like it's a failure on Showtime's part to not reach me somehow, because I'm into self-help. I'm into therapy. I love real reality shows. Like, this show is right up my alley. How did they not target me and get it in front of me? But I found out about it. I forget. I think there was a thing about it in the New Yorker or something. But anyway,
maybe you
so
get
they
booked
did get
next
me.
season.
But I want to promote it because I think if you like my show, you would like the show Couples Therapy. And the extension on Hulu for Showtime to add, it's like $3.99 a month, which is, I know it adds up, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So anyway, it's just like Esther Perel's Where Should We Begin? It's a podcast she does. And she also has this game called Where Should We Begin, which is what we're going to play right now, that Noah owns. And one card is a prompt for what the story, it's a storytelling game. So it prompts stories. So one card is kind of gives you the subject matter of what your story should be about, a circumstance, a prompt. And then the other one is a feeling. And your story has to include a theme of feeling. So you'll see how this goes. So today we selected 2 separate cards, and it's going to give us a little prompt for stories. So Noah.
Well, this one we kind of made up in our text message in the style of the Esther Perel game.
Yes.
So we could talk about your favorite topic, birthdays.
Yes. Birthdays is the subject.
Yeah. So a birthday I remember, and we'll make the theme out of character.
Yeah. A birthday I remember, and then it has to fit a theme of something that's out of character. Something happened during the birthday, someone else's birthday. I mean, a birthday I remember can be your birthday, anyone's birthday, but that's how the sentence should start, or the story should start. So I'll start. A birthday that I remember was, and I feel like this is out of character because I used to love birthdays, and it's not the way I feel about them anymore. But I was in kindergarten, and my mom made a Little Mermaid themed birthday party, and I was so excited and obsessed. And we played pin the tail on the maybe we did pin the claw on the Sebastian, because he was the character. I was obsessed with the Little Mermaid, and we did. She made a piñata of flounder, so we got to beat this fish senselessly, and then candy spilled out of his guts. And we had, maybe we did pin the tail on like the mermaid. Maybe it was just her tail. And I had all my friends there, and it's so funny because you look back at birthdays, and like when you were a kid. And
where was this at?
It was
your
in
house?
Cincinnati.
Your home?
Yeah, on the river, and we had like all these friends there. And I look at the pictures from like that day, and it's all my little friends on the porch. I don't know any of them. None of them. Not a single one. And it's just weird to...
It's almost like they're ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And something I really liked about birthdays that used to happen in my childhood that I still continue on is that whenever my sister had a birthday, my Aunt Nancy would buy me a gift too. Just a little something. Because it's hard for little kids to watch this like Christmas, speaking from a family that celebrated Christmas, like on Christmas, everyone gets presents. And then all of a sudden there's this thing where it's like only this one person does. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. And I know it's probably an ingrate thing, but I always really appreciated that my Aunt Nancy would go out of her way to get me a little something that was on the side that I could open, that my sister wouldn't even see me open. She would do the same for my sister. So I always get Arlo and Poppy like little gifts to be like, you get a gift because you're such a good brother for, like, you've been such a good brother the 2 years she's been alive. And I just always appreciate that. And I was thinking of how I could give a gift to like my friends on my birthday. And I'm trying to maybe construe tonight as like, how can I make this so fun for other people and like not make it about me? And like, that's what I can do with birthdays in the future, is like make sure it's a day where I give back in some way that I feel okay about accepting all the love. Because I think that's what I struggle with when I have depression, is that it's me. And I'm like, I'm so sad. And it's like, I always advise when people are depressed and they go, Nikki, I'm really depressed. What should I do? I always tell them, call someone who needs a friend.
Yeah.
Go pick up some litter. Like, do something that has nothing to do with you and see how you feel afterwards. And so I need to follow my own advice, and maybe I'll call my Aunt Sally today, and that will be because I know she really needs someone to talk to. And then I'll call her and give her that voicemail that I go, Sally, I'm just calling to give you this other number where I don't have to talk to you, and Noah will listen to it, and she will edit it for our podcast, which I will give that number to her in addition to giving her a nice long call today. So that's my birthday story. Not great, but what about you?
I guess birthday. How does it start? I'm sorry.
A birthday I remember.
Something out of
my
character.
My 30th birthday. So like you, like I would never set up like a party. I would never do anything. Like maybe I'd go out, like have two friends maybe for dinner, but I never would do anything to like get attention for my birthday. I really don't remember doing I really don't, or like telling people that it's coming up.
Would your mom and dad celebrate your birthday in a big way when you were little?
This is the thing, like I've talked about it on here before, like any big thing now that I remember, my parents, if they both had to be there, or if you had to be at one place for one day, it became a thing.
You'd have to split your time, or they would both be there, and it would be you being like, I hope mom and dad don't fight and are like, they don't want to be here. I feel guilty.
They didn't talk to each other for 20 years in front of us. So anyway, I never really celebrated my birthday that much. And then when I was 30, I was living at my older brother's. I was working for his company, and I was like leaving like 4 out of the 7 days to go work in the middle of like this place called Taunton, Massachusetts, which is like just far enough away from Boston where you can't go into Boston for the night to have a good time. So I was living in the middle of nowhere, working in a factory. Like,
oh yeah, this was your factory life.
And I was just doing a job that like was not like what I wanted to do, but I also was in a circumstance where I was grateful for my brother to help me, but I was also like, what am I doing? Like, whatever. So I was a little depressed, and then I just remember I got a massage. My brother got me a massage for my birthday. I came back to the house, and everything was quiet. And my friends, I knew they were in town, and I saw them earlier in the day, and I still didn't put it together that it was.
You had a surprise party?
You just ruined it.
That's so funny. I ruined your surprise party story. That's really funny. Wait a second. That's my biggest fear is a surprise party. Wait, did you love it?
The thing.
Aww.
This is the thing. I
wish I could have been there.
I think I took a Xanax that day, and I had a massage. I was so out of it. But
my God.
But I got there, and there was a king outfit waiting for me. Everyone was dressed. We were going to medieval times, and everyone was decked out in night gear. One person dressed as Bobby Knight, which was so funny.
Hilarious.
Another person dressed as Chewbacca out of nowhere. Another person dressed as Suge Knight.
That's so fun.
Suge Knight is
so all your friends
unbelievable.
got like flown in?
Well, some were mostly New York, just Kelly and Danny.
So they like drove in.
Well, Kelly and Danny flew in, but
Okay.
everyone else
That's
just
so
lived in New York City.
nice. Oh, for 30, yeah.
So we all go to medieval times. I'm dressed like the king. At one point, they address the king, and I take the king's thunder. And everyone's like, because I'm like full on, like this is like a $3,000, like a really.
Yeah.
And I was like, hello, and then I put my face in the cake, and then I remember the king.
You Mona Lisa.
The medieval king hated me, because I
you were stealing his thunder.
So I was like, oh, I'll get the knight. So then
He was taking it
I'll
seriously,
tell
like,
this-
this is war.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
being invaded by a king from another land.
So we're having the time of our life. We take the bus back. We go down Lower East Side. We're drinking, and one of the guys had a lightsaber, which, funny, hot lightsaber in medieval times.
Yeah.
Doesn't really add up.
Suge Knight.
Some random guy grabbed his lightsaber and threw it. Next thing you know, we get in a full-on brawl.
Oh my God,
But we're all
Sum 41.
We're all dressed like
As medieval
kings
times.
and knights, and we're
And
fighting.
Suge Knight and...
Suge Knight was there. It was our one black friend, and
my God.
and we're all fighting, fist fighting. And then my buddy, who's dressed as the king, remember the Burger King commercials?
Yes.
He was all on every drug, but mostly cocaine and
Right.
what's the other one? That ecstasy.
The other one.
And he thought people were chasing him, and he was running around the Lower East Side, thinking people were. So he looked like the king from the commercial, but he thought in his mind people were chasing to fight him, and so we just kept seeing him run past
Oh my God.
the street. Anyways, it was unbelievable. And then, the best part though is my other buddy dressed as the king, and he rode the mechanical bull, and we were in the bathroom, and he fell off, and he wasn't his underwear ripped, and I was just in the bathroom random, and some random dude came up. He's like, "Yo, did you see that king's ball?"
King's balls. All right, final thought.
Anyhow, it was a great birthday, and it was nice to feel like I don't know, like that I mattered at that point.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah, it was cool.
I'm warming up to the idea of birthdays, and I am excited about tonight, and I hope that some besties show up and I get to hug them and they get to hear me sing Sheryl Crow or Lonely Island. Noah, what about you for birthdays? You got one?
I am trying to rack my brain to think of my own birthday, but most of my birthday celebrating, going out and doing crazy things or whatever, were spent really drunk and high, so I don't remember any of them.
Yes.
I don't remember any details, but I guess I'm gonna give myself kudos because Avi, his love language is quality time. So all
Yeah.
those crazy things that I've planned for us to do on his as a birthday activity for him, like ice climbing and mountain climbing and all that crap that I would never do on my own, actually turned out to be really good bonding experiences. And I was like, oh, I can plan fun things for birthdays.
That's nice that you are great at birthdays. You've always made me feel so special, and you're just a great friend. You both are. You are so. I couldn't ask for two better people to have spent this hour and a half or whatever with, because I came in just feeling so sad and kind of misunderstood and not even understanding myself, to be honest with you. And just you guys are always so nice to me when I'm going through those stages of just being a baby or being kind of bratty. Just Andrew says the perfect funny thing to make it just to let me know that he's not on my same level. He's not gonna because I think a lot of times when you get really upset, people try to match your energy or try to fix it or try to get as angry as you or adopt some of your anger. And I like that, Andrew, you always acknowledge what I'm going through. I came in and I'm listing all these things, and Andrew's standing there with his card and it's my birthday, he's trying to be nice, but you made some kind of joke as soon as I walked in, and you were or I was I just want to die today, and you're it's good, birthday is probably a cool day to go or something like that. You made a funny joke that let me know that you're acknowledging what I said, you're not giving it too much, that I'm not actually suicidal, I'm just saying dumb things. You made a joke, and you just let me have my feelings. You don't make me feel stupid about it. You laugh when I do say stupid things that I am just sometimes saying. I learned today when I was in therapy, crying to my therapist with my boyfriend also there that I say outrageous and like sometimes mean or crazy things, either mean to myself, mean to others, because I think that when I was met as a child, when I would cry, I was met with a lot of like, what are you crying about? This is ridiculous. You're crying because your Barbie's hair isn't straight or whatever it is like that, or your hair isn't straight or something stupid. And I felt like because that was, then I'm just going to go, and I would get looks of like them being like, you're fucking insane. Like they wouldn't say that, but just like, this is ridiculous. They would say that in their own, you know, the way you talk to kids way. You're fucking insane way. Yes. But just because not because they're bad people. Like, I want to make it clear, my mom and dad are amazing parents. Clearly, I have the best parents ever. I put them on a reality show. I love them so much. But they just didn't know what to do with a daughter who had so much anxiety and seemed to be would lose it at little things. But it was because it wasn't about that little thing. And, you know, that requires a lot of therapy and like to understand the root of the stuff. So they would just look at each other like, what the fuck? And then I discovered that then flailing around and making it even crazier was where I would go. Instead of going like, I'm just going to act like it's something else.
Yeah.
I'd go, you think it's crazy that I'm crying about my Barbie having bent hair on her bangs? Then I am going to hurl myself against the wall, throw myself on the ground, try to hurt myself so that, honestly, I think it was like, so that you take me to a hospital and a nurse has to actually like, someone will give a shit.
Justify your,
Someone will step in and have to do take me to a hospital, put me in a state, because they used to go, you need to be admitted somewhere. Like they used to like say that almost jokingly, and I'd be like, great, I would love for a doctor to actually try to figure out what's wrong with me because I don't know what it is. So this has to be someone else's problem besides mine because I can't handle it. So I would go. So today on my therapy, I was feeling embarrassed about my feelings because I was crying about something that kind of made no sense about like, I'm having a birthday party and I'm feeling stressed out about it. I felt stupid. I'm crying it's past my birthday. I'm crying because I'm like, I'm already famous. I get enough attention. So now I'm crying about being famous. What is going on here? I felt stupid. So then I'm like, okay, I got to get crazier because this is just borderline. I need to go full crazy so that these other crazy things are then just so much less than the other stuff I'm saying, which when you say really crazy stuff, people can go, oh, she's just crazy. But when you say things that are just sounding like you're
you could
you think you're cool, or you're crying about being famous, people can go, she's a bitch.
Yeah, you're spoiled.
You're spoiled, yes. But if I cry about...
where did you take it? What was the next level?
Oh, I can't even tell you where.
Did you have this epiphany? Did you have that epiphany and that connection today in therapy?
Yes, I had a couple connections.
That's a huge birthday gift, by the way, of like self-realization.
I had a couple this is why therapy is great, you guys, and I know I do ads for it on here, but you don't know how you feel until you are able to like talk things out to to a fucking wall. Like you don't even need it's sometimes about listening to yourself, because as I was talking, because we were talking about Chris has COVID and he can't come tonight. And if he does come tonight, he's on like the 6th day of it, but he tested positive yesterday. And I was like, just come in a mask. And he's like, maybe I'll do that, but I don't want to get close. And then as we were talking, my therapist at one point was like, Nikki, what's your love language? And I was like, touch, like immediately touch. And then I was like, oh my God. I was like, and Chris is kind of hurt because I'm like, I'd rather you not come than come and wear a mask. Like and be like, there was something about him coming and being scared to give me and anyone else COVID that made me go, I don't want to make him feel bad about coming and like being nervous. And then I realized it's because I'd rather you not come because I want to touch you. I want to be touched by you like that. I don't want you around if I can't touch you. Like, and I felt bad saying that because I don't want him to think like that's all I use him for, because obviously not. He's so much more to me than that. But I do, when we were trying to be like just friends, I remember saying to him, like, I don't even want to be friends with you because when I'm around you, I want to hold your hand. I want to like rub your back. I want you to touch me. And like, I can't, and you know, I'm not saying down the line, like I think I could be friends with him now if we decided we couldn't be together or something. Like I have more of a connection with him, but I really require touch a lot. And I said that today. I was like, I just realized, like, she asked me about touch. I was talking about Chris coming with a mask on. And I was like, I don't want you to kiss me on my cheek with like a mask kiss. Like, I'd rather you just not even show up, because to me, it would be the same as smelling like being really hungry and smelling a food and just like smelling it. And like, and she goes, really interesting that an anorexic describes like used as a food analogy. And I was like, well, that's what I used to do with food. I would starve and I couldn't have it, but I would watch the Food Network, which is a very common thing for people who have anorexia.
Interesting.
To watch food TV incessantly. I would read food magazines. I would watch food TV. I would watch people eat. All I wanted to do was be around food, play with it, but I didn't want to have it. And I feel like that's the same way I am with affection and like intimacy, is like I want to get just to the close enough, but I don't deserve it. But I do right now feel like I deserve love, so I don't want to torture myself by being like close to Chris, but not being able to actually like have him like be. But she was like, well, tonight he can come and like you can hold your hand, like you could wash your hands right after, like you know you don't have to lick his hand, like there's things around it. So there were a lot of good epiphanies today.
I mean, there's always doggy
good.
style.
I'm going to talk about getting shushed through the rap, okay? Do you want to start? And then I can kind of think about what I'm going to do for my
Yeah,
freestyle.
I'll start.
Yeah, start a rap.
Yo, go shorty. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday.
All I can picture him is bending down like a bat on the Super Bowl.
Oh,
when he bent down. And I was worried about the bar he was hanging on. I thought it was like one of those bars you put in the middle of your door. And I was like, it's gonna fall.
Go shorty.
Okay.
It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. We're gonna sing karaoke like we're sharing
Cocaine?
Cocaine on a Thursday. Everybody get up, get down, put the mask on, take it off, and bang me and eat my butt. But don't ever come back.
I mean, I feel like we get inside the psychology of each other when we really freestyle. And when you do those little ones coming out of the first break, we learn a lot. Okay, so I'm about to tell you about what happened. Wait, don't do that.
What?
No.
Birthday?
Don't. Andrew has a really good skill of doing this and repeating, and it is so annoying. But I'm going to still do my rap. Okay, this weekend I was in a van. I was driving to the airport with a man. There was also another woman in the car. She had her kid with her. We didn't go too far. We drove about an hour. Her kid was about 8. I was trying to be cool and trying to relate. We were talking about the weekend. We were talking about fun. We were talking about things, but we weren't talking about guns. At one point, I referenced that the Wilco album helped me. It got me through the week. It was really something swell to me. So then healthy. So really something healthy. Thank you. So I'm talking about the album, and I casually referenced that this week was hard. So I said it was hard, and this album really helped me because last week was so brutal and I was feeling so many feelings. And then she looked back at me and was like, girl, cut it. Don't say that around my kid. I haven't told him yet. And I was like, oh shit, am I a bad person? Did I almost talk about something terrible in front of this kid? It sounded like I was about to talk about a gangbang, and she was like, he doesn't know about gangbangs yet. But I'm not even making this a rap anymore because I just want to get my point across. I felt like a bad mom. I felt like a bad woman, that I almost talked about a mass shooting in front of this kid. And then I was thinking, do kids even know about this? The fact is they don't. And why should you tell them? Nothing you really say is going to prepare them. Sam Harris compared it to telling your kid about a plane crash. It's not going to help your kid to know about a plane crash because most of the time you're not going to be in a plane crash. And even if you are, there's really not going to be anything you could do about it. So don't talk to your kids about the shooting. But I casually mentioned that last week was quote unquote hard. And she shot me a look like, do not mention why it was hard. And she pointed at her kid. And I felt shamed. And I felt like I'm a bad person. But then I just realized she was just being a good mom. She's protecting her son. She didn't want him to hear about it. And she doesn't know what this bitch in the backseat is going to say. I'm a raunchy comedian. What's she going to do? So it was really interesting. I don't know if you have kids out there, but I am wondering how you handle this whole situation because it's really fucking weird. And I know that if I were in 4th grade and someone told me that a bunch of 4th graders got murdered in a classroom last week, I would be fucking scared as shit. So I would recommend to parents, do not tell your kids about it because it's just going to give them anxiety. And that's the end of my rap. Happy birthday, Nikki. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening today. And I love all of you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. If I don't get back to you, you know it's not because I didn't see it or because I didn't love it, but it's because I'm overwhelmed, and I love you so much for all of it. And thank you for being my friends and my fans. And don't be cut and happy birthday.